Um, Really, I would like to express my gratitude for being able to attend this conference and express my best wishes to all of you and the state of Montenegro on their way to EU. And I really wish you all the best, and I hope that the goals of 2028 will be fulfilled. For those of you who do not know, Podravke is a group that is actually engaged in food processing, pharma industry, and agriculture. And I would like actually to say at the beginning that serious agriculture is seriously profitable business, as opposed to the joke mentioned at the beginning. But along these lines, and taking into the account the Croatian experience, I think that the succession process is really an excellent opportunity to improve the agricultural sector, its efficiency, and especially because the topic of food production is really the topic in the EU. With the decline in globalization, it somehow became obvious and evident that long supply chains and imports from distant places for our production was maybe useful, but it's also a source of great risks. So it seems to me that the debate how to shorten our supply chains, how to increase and improve our agricultural production is really one of the visible and prominent debates within the EU. And since Montenegro is on its accession path, a number of these topics will very quickly become, or they already are, a part of a debate here. So I have noticed that there is a relatively high deficit in agricultural trade, and having in mind that, obviously, increase in domestic production and increase in self-sufficiency is probably the first task here. And taking into the account the experiences I have mentioned, serious agricultural policy is, and smart agricultural policy is, I would say, a cornerstone of higher agricultural production. Based on Croatian experience, I would also underline the need to avoid the trap of a conflict between big producers and small producers. This is really the trap, and and there is actually no conflict between big and small producers. There is only a conflict between efficient producers and those who are not efficient. I would also highlight also the need to recognize that agriculture is a serious business, and it is also necessary to find the balance between the modern agriculture and a tradition, or in other way, the instruments are needed to actually tackle social groups who engage in agricultural production in a traditional way, or social groups who are engaged in agricultural production due to their age. So these groups should be tackled, and these groups should, and are usually vulnerable groups, but the trap should be avoided that such groups could actually bear the modern agricultural production. Obviously, the EU policies, the green policies, farm to fork strategy, and the number of other frameworks really provide I think, a very good framework for the opportunities Montenegro has. And it seems to me these opportunities fit really well within this framework, and I wish you all the best to find a way to use and exploit these opportunities, and they are numerous. So, if you allow me, I would use my final sentences to maybe share some of the experiences our company has. We have engaged during past few years in widening the network of farmers who produce primarily vegetables for Podravka, and such a process has really proved itself as a successful for farmers and for us as a big producer. And therefore, I said at the beginning, the conflict between small and big is really a false conflict and a trap that should be avoided, because the cooperation between bigger producers and smaller farmers could be a fruitful way forward. Also, having in mind the beauties of the country and a relatively or highly preserved nature, the opportunities for healthy production, the production of really healthy food are great and compliant with the changes EU will bring. Therefore, I think from the standpoint of a company that sells a number of products here, we really see a number of opportunities, and we also see a challenge faced also by Croatia, and which is tourism. Tourism is really a huge engine for an economy, but it is also an industry that creates a number of challenges for producers to basically serve the needs of the tourist industry. And at the end, I would say it is of course good and legitimate to serve the needs of a tourist industry to the extent possible, but it is also not realistic to try to serve all of the needs of the tourist industry, because a number of people coming from around the world have their tastes and preferences. And therefore, also the balance is needed there between the expectations and the ambitions and the real and actual needs of tourism.